Welcome back to Final Fantasy IX. We're starting Disc 3 now, which you know what that means at the start of a disc. Plot, 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 plot.
Oh, what a beautiful evening. Oh, boy. This is not the date between Beatrice and Tot.
Jumping ahead, are we?
So is
No,
there?
I didn't say Beatrice and Steiner. I said Beatrice and Tot.
Oh, okay.
Is there a time skip after disc 2? Because I know it ended like with Garnet becoming like queen and all that junk. So
I think it's been like a few weeks.
okay, so
Yeah,
not significant.
Not terribly long, but long enough.
Yeah, because Kuja showed his true colors, and Queen Braun is dead, and Garnet was there, and Beatrix was there, presumably. They basically all just took Alexandria's airships back to the kingdom, so everyone is now here.
Wait, hold on a moment. Kuja showed his true colors, like there wasn't any question that he was evil to begin with.
I was going to comment on that myself. I think Kuja just showed up.
Well, as far as Alexandria is concerned, Kuja showed his true colors.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
By which we mean the bar down the street.
This was a very odd moment for me. Cause it's rare that you go back to the place you started in Final Fantasy and then almost get a feeling that we're back in Disc 1.
Well, to be fair, in most RPGs, your starting place gets blown up, but...
Very true.
In Final
Or
Fantasy
it's a
VII, you get
place
locked out until the final disc.
Yeah, we don't want you. Get out.
Well, it's just it's usually a long time at the very least. Because in Final Fantasy IV, Rydia kind of creates a hole in the ground that keeps you from getting back to Baron.
That village is just fucking Danny the moment you decide to go back left.
Oh, man. The, Final Fantasy VIII is the other exception, though, because you actually go back to Balam Garden halfway through the game, and then you use it as your vehicle for most of the game, which is weird. Oh, man.
It's
Gotta
so
say,
big. Sorry, I had to. I have no shame.
There have been far more sensible things that Final Fantasy has done than turning the school your characters start out in into a frickin' airship.
Well, to be fair, there's also been way less sensible things that they've done too. So there's that.
Fair enough, yeah. Of course, this is charming in a way because we get to bring all the characters that weren't here last time we were at Alexandria, and then we get to see their reactions to the place in the QuickTime events, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I just realized I should have done a no soup for you joke there.
Yeah, because they speak of some sort of accent. I was never sure if they were kids or just mini folk, maybe goblins.
Some kind of weird beast tribe type people.
Ah, the line!
Oh, yeah, and they have a third brother who's here somehow.
It's Bonero, and Gennaro, and Tenero, and Panero.
Wait, what the hell are those things? I don't get it.
One of them opened up a chain of like breadstick shops, and yeah, he made out the best of all of them. The rest of them are like sky pirates or something.
Top of Gennaro.
Totally lame.
So you're saying that Gennaro ended up making some dinero?
Correctamundo. That's the awkward second removed cousin.
Oh, we don't talk much about him. He's an embarrassment.
Yeah, he's on the verge of getting thrice removed.
Oof.
Oh yeah, if you're like me at all, you were probably wondering what are those two hanging out in that random alley for? Well, it turns out right next to them is the stairway that leads down to the theater that Ruby bought. So there was a reason that they were there.
This
Yeah.
dickhead.
What the
Yeah.
Moogle?
Oh dear.
This purple fucker.
Oh, come on, Ryan. That's
Hi,
right. Right?
Artemisian.
Oh wait, hold on.
Notice
Is this the guy responsible for the Moogle side quest?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me guess. You guys don't particularly like the Moogle side quest.
Well,
It's not,
it's more
it's
like
not bad, it's just more he was really stupid about it.
yeah, it's like the reason when you finally get to the end of the Magnet side quest, you realize why you're doing all that, and it's just like what?
There is an endgame chain of side quests that is like Mognet in Final Fantasy XIV, and the deputy postmukel who hires you for it is occasionally slipping up, and he calls you stuff like his favorite whipping boy, and then he corrects himself.
I meant to say bitch. That's what you humans use as a term of affection. Am I wrong?
I'm reminded of the robot chicken Final Fantasy sketch.
I assume you're
I don't even
buying
remember what the
stuff
hell you
up
get in
for
Alexandria.
synthesis.
Yep. Synthesis stuff as well as just a few extras of everything just in case I need it.
Just if you walking down with this brand new fucking flashy ass golden coat. Got there, you made a killing in the cotton robe trade.
You're walking around with his pimp cane,
Yeah.
strutting down the street.
I was thinking of getting a zipper smile for my hat, but then they said that'd be stupid. But you see, one day, someone's gonna think it's a good idea.
Just everybody has
Whether
a
or not
bunch of cotton robes, and like nobody can wear anything else because there's an overinflux in the market.
There's too many fucking cotton robes.
Don't care, made mine.
Hey, you bought it.
You see, Ryan, stuff like this is the reason why the economy crashes. Okay.
Whoa, the rare money drop seems to have thing. Alexandria's pretty fucking rich now, huh? It's such a far cry, but since picking up a measly 3 gil off the floor, now it's fucking 3,927.
Considering that's the pier where all the rich people went to take a boat into the castle when the play was on, I assume someone just dropped their wallet. I like to think up.
Drop the fucking briefcase.
I like to think up little headcanon reasons for why the random drops are around. Sue me.
I think in Pokemon, the explanation for all of the random shit that you find in the Pokeballs is that there's a trainer who's like 5 minutes ahead of you who just has a hole in their bag or something and keeps on dropping shit. And I'm pretty sure that somewhere, it might be like Gen 1 or something, they have like a sign that says, careless trainers have dropped stuff, pick them up because fuck that guy. Or something to that effect. Great. I'd have to double check though, because, I might be paraphrasing just a little bit there, so, yeah.
You were too busy running away from the endless stream of Zubats. But, man. The only thing in Final Fantasy that to this day I cannot think up a logical reason for in my head, no matter how far I twist it, is the card ability. The card ability. In Final Fantasy,
gotta get the cards from somewhere.
You can turn your enemies into trading cards.
Isn't that Wait, hold on a moment. That's easy. They just stole Eggman's Sonic Rivals camera thing.
Sure, why not?
I do like this track that's playing here, though. Is it just for this scene?
Yeah, this is the Tantalus theme.
But we're not in
There's like there's like two variations of this theme. I like the first iteration more. It's more of a jazzy saxophone.
Vivi calls him Uncle Cinna.
Aww.
And Ruby's just here like, oh, I would totally pinch your cheeks if you had any.
It's like, oh shit, I'm back.
Does this theater have anything to do with anything, or is it just like
It's just a background thing that happened while everyone was gone, and there was a quick an ATE about it, and there was a letter that you could get from a Mognet person if you talked to them a second time after doing your thing with them, which you can very easily miss. But Ruby does send you a letter saying that that she managed to get herself a little back alley theater. And, it's kind of interesting because it's never touched on, but in the background, this girl who was left behind when the airship escaped Alexandria must have busted her ass to start her own business while we were off adventuring. And
how long was I gone?
We never get to see any of this, but it happened, and it's interesting to think about.
Like, yeah, did she get in deep with Alexandrian loan sharks or something, or what?
Oh, Steiner, you just keep being slow on the uptake.
But I want to see my husbando.
I don't remember if we may have mentioned this the last recording session, but they someone dug into the files of Final Fantasy IX and found pretty much all the backgrounds.
Yeah, the high-res versions of the backgrounds.
In a near uncompressed format, and it's so fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were. I think that came up in the comments because we were talking about like the pre-rendered stuff and how and something I don't really remember, but yeah. I do remember seeing that in the comments, and that's you know that they had to have had those files somewhere, but they were in the game itself, like uncompressed versions of the backgrounds. Yeah. So
yikes.
If a Steam version is ever to happen, hopefully, I would hope they use the uncompressed backgrounds.
Well, would they do what they did for 7 and 8 and just port the PC version for some ungodly reason?
There is no PC version. Or more specifically, there is no finished PC version. There was a PC version of Final Fantasy IX planned, and it was advertised, and I saw advertisements for it, but it never came to fruition. So that is why there is not yet a Steam version of Final Fantasy IX in the first place.
It means there just could be assets there, and they could just revitalize it when they feel the need to. I don't see why not. You do 7 and do 8, not 9. Makes no sense.
Well, I know that 7's easily the most popular of the PlayStation trilogy, like, and the series just in general, but did 8 end up selling more than 9? Because I know that, generally speaking, 9 has far better fan and critical reception than 8, but, like, did it...
I think it may have, partly because Final Fantasy IX came at the ass end of the PlayStation 1's life cycle, and I think the PlayStation 2
I think the PS2 was already out in Japan at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Yeah, and there was already word of Final Fantasy X being in development.
Yeah.
So Square...
When they were developing Final Fantasy IX, they were talking about... Go ahead.
I'm just Square's always like I remember Square announced Final Fantasy 14 before Final Fantasy 13 was even out or something like that. So they've just always been doing that shit. Okay, I'm more surprised.
They announced 14 after revealing 13 because I remember the fan reaction to that. Well, at least the crowd reaction. Because I think it was at E3 or somewhere at a conference, and there was like a bunch of "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah," and well, we all know how that turned out at first. So
yeah, Square seriously had its head up its butt at that point. Like, pretty much nothing that it put out at that time worked. Final Fantasy Versus 13 looked awesome, but never happened. Type 0 is Type 0, and Final Fantasy 13. Always. And then Final Fantasy XIV comes out, and oh god, what a mess. It's like, you try playing that game, it's like you took a step back 15 years in the MMORPG timeline.
Oh man, this is a travesty. Announced 15.
Oh man, because I do remember that, like, Versus 13, which is now 15, was going to be, like, was it supposed to be in the same universe as Final Fantasy 13 or something?
Multiverse. Final Fantasy 13 is an interesting and really ambitious concept. It was called the Fabula Nova Crystallis, New Tale of the Crystals, and it was supposed to be a loose connection of different worlds surrounding a mythology of specific deities. And it all had to do with the pantheon of gods and goddesses that is mostly dealt with in Final Fantasy 13-2 and Lightning Returns.
Oh, so that's not just like the Fal'Cie and Lassie and whatever the I don't even. It's not that.
I don't even know if the rules between the different worlds are the same, because there are Fal'Cie in Final Fantasy Type 0 as well. But from the
Yeah.
sound of it, everything regarding what Fal'Cie are works differently. And instead of having, well, not Fal'Cie, but l'Cie, instead of having the l'Cie entities that Final Fantasy 13 has, there are crystals. And I'm not really sure how it works, because I haven't had the patience to play that far into the game, but
The game never explains what's going on at all.
yeah, I figured. And in Final Fantasy Versus 13, the country that the main character Noctis belongs to worships Etro, who is the goddess that made lightning into a Valkyrie knight or something in 13 too. I don't really understand what's going on by that point. Everything is so confusing. Yeah, and I'm not sure if Final Fantasy 15 is keeping its connections to the Final Fantasy 13 mythos. Like, I know that that Noctis' country still worships some deity of death, but whether it's Etro or another one, I'm not sure. All I know is that they're holding on to that as the explanation for why everyone is dressed in goddamn black.
I thought that they just wanted to shoot their album cover, though.
No, there's an actual in-game reason for
Why is
everyone
our
is
city
wearing black.
destroyed? We only pray to our death deity.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do hope to get around. I do hope that Final Fantasy 15 does end up being good, though, because it did look very interesting. The fact that we're playing as NSYNC aside, and I'm never gonna let go. Honestly, like I poke fun, but I actually kind of like that we're playing as NSYNC because it looks like a fun group of characters, as opposed to the fact that almost like because I haven't played Final Fantasy 13, so I really shouldn't be bitching too much, but from the story sequences, everybody in that game just kind of got on my nerves because of how like depressed they got, except for Saz, because Saz is legitimately cool. But it's just like everybody but Saz and Snow is like really, really depressed. No, actually, you know what? Never mind, because I forgot Vanille. But Vanille and Snow also annoy me the fuck more than everybody else. So yeah.
Snow I found bland. Hope I found aggravating for different reasons. And Vanille I just thought typical anime subtropes. And
Yeah.
everyone has their feelings for Lightning. And
Lightning
yeah,
has feelings.
No, everyone has feelings for Lightning.
Before we end this part completely, I might as well chime in on this tangent. Final Fantasy XIII's cast has a skeleton list of characteristics that could have been made into a really good set of characters, but much like everything else related to the story in Final Fantasy XIII, the actual storytelling is balls out fucked up. Like, every character has exactly one major character flaw that gets emphasized to the sky, and then resolved about a third of the way through the game.
That's the first time I ever heard someone say balls out fucked up. It's like, put your balls away.
It's like,
there are kids here.
But you see, what winds up happening is that every character spends most of the game with their flaw up front and center as their only real characterization point. And then, at some point over the course of the game, in Lightning's case, very early on, that character flaw gets resolved, and they develop as a person, but then after that, they do nothing for the rest of the game.
And that's the end of that chapter.
Yeah, it does scream missed opportunities, because there are some things that I thought could have been cool, like Hope and Lightning, I think, could have been a cool relationship, and it might be in later games, because I know they still hang out or whatever, but yeah, so whatever. Please tell me we're not planning on ever doing Final Fantasy 13, because I feel like we'd
Never say never.
Yeah, but I feel like we'd probably rip our eyeballs out at some point.
Someday I might record 13.2. I might possibly record Lightning Returns. Never recording 13.1.
Okay, so in that
Not
case,
gonna
Ryan, your turn.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, fuck.
Get Matt to do it. He platinumed the game.